Hello and welcome to your 4th of July weather briefing. My name is Alex from the National Weather Service in Salt Lake City. We're highlighting two key areas of concern on Friday, July 4th. The first is the potential for showers and thunderstorms across northern Utah and southwest Wyoming. Those showers and thunderstorms will be capable of producing gusty and erratic winds, frequent lightning, as well as briefly heavy rainfall. We also wanted to mention there is the potential, although a low potential, for an isolated shower or thunderstorm near the Idaho border and across northwest Utah earlier in the day. But the primary time period that we're concerned about is between that 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. time frame. A second area of concern for Friday is the return of critical fire weather conditions, particularly across west central, southwest, and southern Utah. And that's where we will have the juxtaposition of gusty winds in the 25 to 35 miles per hour range out of the southwest, combined with relative humidities down around 10% during the afternoon and early evening hours. Here we're highlighting our weather risk outlook for Friday, highlighting that concern, that minor risk for critical fire weather conditions across portions of western and southern Utah. In terms of watches and warnings, in the magenta colors that you see here across west central and southwest Utah, that's where we have a red flag warning in effect. And then in the tan colors down near the Arizona border, that's where we have a fire weather watch in effect. And again, these are in effect for Friday afternoon and early evening. We're currently evaluating the need to upgrade this fire weather watch to a red flag warning. Here's a look at a simulated model reflectivity for Friday. This is just one model's depiction, so the weather may vary ultimately from what this forecast is showing, but we do think this particular model does a good job of representing a most likely forecast outcome for your July 4th. And what we see as we get into the early afternoon hours, that's when we think showers and thunderstorms will begin to develop, particularly across Dugway, higher terrain of eastern Nevada, the Great Salt Lake Desert. Also, other typical convective initiation areas include the Stansbury Mountains and the Oquirrh Mountains, and other common areas across northern Utah. As we go through the afternoon, showers and thunderstorms will move off towards the north and east and become better organized as we go through the afternoon. And once we see these yellows, oranges, and especially reds here on this map, those indicate thunderstorms that are well organized and intense. And you can see, according to this model, most of the northern valleys and Wasatch Front have the potential to be impacted by showers and thunderstorms on Friday afternoon. Now, how much wind might these showers and thunderstorms produce? Well, this is a graphic showing you the probability of wind gusts greater than 35 miles per hour. And as we start off on Friday afternoon, initially, showers and thunderstorms will not be very well developed yet. So that risk for wind gusts greater than 35 miles per hour is low in less than 20%. But we'll see these probabilities gradually ramp up as we go through the afternoon, particularly by 3 o'clock. In some of these yellows here, we're approaching 30, 40, and even a 50% probability of gusts greater than 35 miles per hour. And as this thunderstorm activity makes its way across the Great Salt Lake and the Wasatch Front, we see generally a 40 to 50, locally 60% chance for wind gusts greater than 35 miles per hour. Later in the afternoon, we see those probabilities overspread areas like Bear Lake and southwest Wyoming, where the probabilities are highest, greater than a 50% chance for gusts greater than 35 miles per hour. Now, as we get through the rest of the evening hours, we think activity will start to ramp down and diminish, particularly after 8 p.m., which is good news for those fireworks shows that are scheduled closer to sunset. We think a worst case scenario for wind gusts in these areas tomorrow is in the 50 to 60 mile per hour range. What about temperatures for Friday? Well, high temperatures are forecast to be in the upper 80s to low 90s across many of our northern valleys and central valleys. Take a few degrees off these values by the start of fireworks time. And then across southwest Utah, St. George, high temperatures will be in the low 100s. Minimum relative humidity for Friday, underscoring that risk for critical fire weather conditions. And you can see here, humidities are forecast to be lowest where we have the red flag warnings, fire weather watches in effect across southwest, west central, and southern Utah, where we see those minimum relative humidities for Friday forecast to be as low as 10%. And to summarize, we are going to be watching for the risk for showers and thunderstorms across northern Utah and southwest Wyoming, primarily between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Those again carry the risk for gusty and erratic winds, lightning, and briefly heavy rain. And then also we have the risk for critical fire weather conditions across southwest, west central, and southern Utah Friday afternoon and early evening due to the combination of gusty southwest winds and low relative humidity. That concludes your briefing for today. Have a safe and enjoyable 4th of July. Thank you, everyone.